Hi everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the Talking Money with Nozi podcast. Our topic today is how to get out of debt and stay out of debt. Please remember that the information shared here is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This podcast should not be considered financial advice. Please consult with a certified financial planner before making any major financial decisions. There's an article that I read by News24 that said South Africans are using 65% of their monthly income to pay debt. This means that for every 1,000 Rand that South Africans earn, 650 Rand goes to debt, leaving only 350 Rand to do everything else. This is really shocking, and it shows our unhealthy dependence on debt as a nation. Debt is a problem. It is the elephant in the room that nobody is willing to talk about. The first problem with debt is the interest payments. Interest makes whatever you are buying much more expensive than the original price. And people usually have more than one loan. This means you are paying much more than the original price for many things at the same time. Sometimes if you fail to pay your installments, for example on a personal loan, the interest on the loan can become larger than the initial borrowed amount, making it even more difficult to pay off the debt. This causes people to become stuck in debt spirals. This is where, for example, someone who is struggling to pay off their credit card gets a personal loan to pay for the credit card. When they fail to pay the installments for the personal loan, the interest keeps accumulating and they fall deeper and deeper into debt. The second problem with debt is that it limits your financial flexibility. Because loans need to be paid regularly, they limit your ability to use your money for other things like saving and investing. Having most of your income going towards debt also makes it difficult to pay for unexpected expenses and to take advantage of opportunities. The third problem with debt is the risk of payment failure. For example, if you lose your income. Failing to pay your debts on time can result in penalty fees and it can damage your credit score. In some cases, it can lead to severe consequences like legal action against you and even repossession of things like houses and cars. The fourth problem with debt is the psychological stress. All of us know that debt can cause stress and anxiety, which affects our mental health. Constantly worrying about debt can have a negative impact on the quality of your life. Staying up at night wondering how you will get through the next month is a painful way to live. The fifth problem with debt is the opportunity cost. The money that you use to repay debt could be invested or saved for future goals like retirement, education, or purchasing assets that appreciate in value. High levels of debt can prevent you from building wealth and achieving long-term financial security. The best situation is to be completely debt-free. Pay off all your credit cards, personal loans, store accounts, revolving loans, car loans, etc. It will take a long time, but it must be done. You can pay off your debts using the Snowball method or the Avalanche method. Let's start with the Avalanche method. The debt avalanche method involves making extra payments on your debt with the highest interest rates first while you continue normal payments on the other debts. For example, let's say you have credit card debt charging you 18% interest, a clothing account charging you 20% interest, and a personal loan charging you 24% interest. Using the debt avalanche method, you will tackle the personal loan first, then the clothing account, and end with the credit card. How it works is that you would pay your normal installments for your credit card and clothing account, but you would pay extra for the personal loan. For example, if the normal installment for your personal loan is 1,000 Rand, you would pay, let's say, an extra 500 Rand every month until you close it off. After finishing off the personal loan, you would take that 1,500 that you used to close it off and add it to your installment for your clothing account until you close that off. Then finally, you would take the 1,500 from the personal loan and then the installment from the clothing account, dump it all on the credit card every month until you close that off as well. The avalanche method is the best way to save money in the long run because it reduces the total amount of interest that you would pay overall. Next, let's talk about the snowball method. With the Snowball method, you prioritize your debts by balance rather than by interest rate. This means that you will make extra payments on your debt with the lowest balance first while you continue normal payments for the other debts. Let's say your clothing account has a balance of 10,000 Rand, your credit card has a balance of 50,000 Rand, and your personal loan has a balance of 100,000. Using the debt snowball, you would pay extra on the clothing account and close it off first, then add the installment from the clothing account to the credit card until you pay that off. And then you would roll over the clothing account and the credit card installments to the personal loan until you pay that off as well. As you pay off each debt, you gain momentum and motivation to tackle the next one, creating a snowball effect that pushes you towards debt freedom. Once you pay off your debt, you must stay out of it. I'm saying this because some people are addicted to debt. After working hard to pay off their debt, they fall right back in again. Come on, guys, think about it. How much money in total have you handed over to financial institutions because of debt over the years? When are you going to stop and start focusing on yourself and working towards financial freedom? After paying off your debt, you should focus on building up your savings and your investments. Flip the switch and start earning interest from savings and earning dividends from investments. For some people, the only thing standing between them and becoming a millionaire is all the debt that they have. Debt is not some harmless little inconvenience that we can just sweep under the carpet. Debt is a problem, a big problem, and it's about time we stopped normalizing it and started facing the harsh reality of what it's doing to us. We live in a society where debt has become so normalized that we hardly blink an eye at the idea of owing thousands, even hundreds of thousands of rands on credit cards and personal loans, for example. We swipe our credit cards without a second thought. We take out loans like it's no big deal and carry around the burden of debt like it's just another fact of life. But let me tell you something. Debt is not normal. Debt is not okay. Debt is a trap that keeps us shackled to a life of financial insecurity and servitude. Think about it. When you're in debt, you are not in control of your own life. You are at the mercy of creditors, constantly worrying about how you're going to make ends meet and keep up with those monthly payments. Debt holds us back from achieving our dreams and living the life we truly want. It prevents us from building wealth and achieving financial freedom. And yet we continue to normalize it. We joke about being broke or living paycheck to paycheck, like it's just a part of being an adult. But it doesn't have to be that way. We need to wake up and realize that debt is a problem that we cannot afford to ignore anymore. We need to stop normalizing it and start taking action. All right, guys, rant is over. That's it for today's episode. Please remember that if you want to send your questions for me to answer on upcoming episodes, send your voice note to 072 586 2827. Also, please remember to follow this podcast on Spotify and leave a 5-star review. Until next time, keep talking money.